Today in the wood yard, we're gonna load some wood and we're gonna go for a ride down the road and we're gonna go dump it. Here we go. The first thing on the agenda today is I'm gonna put a bunch of wood into the trailer. And this is for a YouTube watcher, a guy that's about 40 miles south of here, has been watching my channel and he called me and ordered some wood. He wants 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. It is going to be a mix of hickory, cherry, and oak. And so that's got a real good mix. That would be really nice. So because it's a mix and because this is a non-measured pile, I'm going to throw in what I think is about 1/3 of each of those. And then I'm going to have to actually stack it so that I know how much I have because it's not a pre-measured pile. So when you see me just chucking wood in loose, it's because I know exactly how much is in the stack. And when I have to put a load like this on, which is going to be from just a big pile, I actually have to stack it in there so I make sure I get the right amount, which is why you'll see me stacking wood coming up in just a minute. Why he ordered it from me, because I think he had some bad stuff in the past, I think is why. He made a comment about that. It'd be nice to have some good dry wood. So maybe he had some nasty crap. And so I'll give a little discussion maybe on that too. So here we go, time to load some wood. I have the hickory and the oak on, which was right in this area right here, because I had kind of a mix of oak and hickory right here. And then on that side from this wall right here going that way, that's all hickory. So I kind of just threw it in random because he wants a mix of stuff. But this is probably, of what I've got in here so far, I would guess it's 60% oak. And then the rest is hickory. And there's 1 or 2 pieces of some other stuff I had in here too. So while I was going through this, I was looking as I was chucking pieces in to see what kind of wood there was. And it is hard to tell sometimes what's hickory and what's oak. They're very similar. For those of you that don't know, around here we have 2 different kinds of hickory. Actually, one is called bitternut and the other one is called shagbark hickory. But they're both considered hickory. Here anyway, I know that's how they sell it in the logging industry around here. So here's what I've got. This right here, you can see by the bark, even though it's different, these are both red oaks. This is more of a rough bark, this is more of a smooth bark. So this is from a smaller branch size piece, whereas this is more from a bigger chunk. But you can see on the inside what it looks like. If you look on the inside of this one, it's much more orangish, pink, peachy kind of colored. So that's the red oak. And then right next to it here is the smooth bark hickory. These are both smooth bark hickories. You turn this over, you can see how different that can look. So the hickory, this is easier to tell because you got light and dark, but when it gets dark like this from more of a bigger piece, a lot of times it looks a lot like white oak or red oak. So those are both the smooth bark hickory or the bitternut. And then here is the shagbark hickory, which is, it has kind of a rust color underneath the bark you can see right here, and the bark comes off in like chunks, it kind of peels away. And the inside of that looks, to me, it looks a lot like white oak on the inside. So here's the difference between the shagbark and the oak. If you look at the difference, there's the oak and there's the shagbark right next to it. So a lot of the hickory has this white outer layer, and then the inside looks to me just like white oak. It's not that peachy color like the red oak is. It's more of a a creamy color. So there's the difference there. And then here's another difference. You can see here the white, the light color, and then it gets darker as you go to the inside. So the outside layer is more lighter colored. Then the bark is, again, it's kind of that rusty color underneath, like this right here. And it comes off kind of in chunks or sheets. Here's another shag bark. You can see how the bark kind of pops off like this, and the outside bark is kind of a bluish gray color. So these are all shag barks here. But then this piece was in there, and at first I thought, is that hickory? But if you look at it, for those of you that know, this is maple. There's a piece of maple in there. So it's been a stick of maple, but it's good wood. So, I mean, it's a real nice piece. And so that's going to go in with it too. And now I got those in. So now I'm going to go over to where I have my cherry over on the other side of the wood yard. I'm going to throw in some cherry and then finish it off. And it'll end up being 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. So we're going to go over there right now and throw some more wood in. I backed up to the pile right here where all my cherry is, because this pile right here is cherry, and that pile right there is cherry, and then my cherry will be gone. I only have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like 5 more face cords or a cord and 2/3 of cherry, and the cherry is finito. It is finished. There is no more. So that means I've got 3 or 4 customers that love cherry. So I'll be giving them a phone call. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to tell them, I only have this little bit left. If you want some, now's the time. That's how you sell wood. I do that quite often. I've got 2 guys that are burning locusts for heating that have bought, one guy bought 2 full cords, another guy bought a cord of locust and a cord of oak. And I'm going to call both those guys and say, my locust is right down there. I've got maybe 5 or 6 face cords or 2 full cords of locust left. And right now it's in February, and we're going through a real long cold snap here where it's been like 0 for the highs and 15 below in the morning and wind chill factors of 20 to 30 below. So I think they're going to be burning a lot of wood. So now is the time to hit them up and say, hey, if you want some of that wood, you better get it now, because it'll be gone. And it will be too. It's not like I'm pimping them on it, you know. I'm just letting them know it's going to be gone, because they do tell me, you know, when you get low, give me a call. That happens a lot, especially when it's a specialty wood like cherry or the locust, where I don't have a lot of it, or hickory even. I'll have guys that will say, hey, when you get low, give me a call again. I might want some more. So I do that quite often. Just give them a call and say, hey, this is Chris. I know you bought the wood in the past, you bought the locust or the hickory or cherry, whatever it was, and I'm getting low. If you want some, it's going to be gone probably within a couple of weeks. And it is the truth. And a lot of times they'll say, hey, you know, bring me another cord, bring me another face cord, bring me a couple face cords. It happens a lot. So we're going to throw in the cherry now. Here it goes. There it is. It is loaded. So what I do when I put in mixed wood from different piles or piles that aren't measured, I stack it like I said before. But in this particular case, I needed 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. So I know, because of the height and the width of my trailer, I know I go to the top of the first board all the way across 4 rows, and then I throw in like a 1/2 or 3/4 of a row on the end, and it makes just a little over 2 face cords or 2/3 of a cord. So there it is. Now we're going for a little ride. So I just left William's place there where I dumped the wood. He is, like I said before, he's one of you. He's one of the YouTube viewers, and we did a little talking. He didn't really want to be on camera, which I don't blame him, because then he'd be famous. Anyway, I was talking with him, and he's gonna buy a wood splitter. He's gonna get one for splitting wood he's got in his backyard. He cut a couple locust trees down, which is excellent firewood. So he seemed kind of excited about that, and apparently he's got a splitter all picked out, and I think he's got the okay from his wife to buy it, which she should just buy it for him. I think that'd be a good idea. Perfect birthday present. Anyway, so yeah, he was kind of excited to get the wood, and I could see he didn't have very much there, and they had told me they had gotten some bad wood in the past from people that delivered it and showed pictures, you know, even with the moisture, made with the moisture content, and they get it and then it was green as could be and it wouldn't burn. So don't be one of those guys. Only sell and deliver what you say you've got. I mean, if you're selling wood that is fresh cut green, just tell the people it's going to take a year. Or if it's 6 months old, tell them it's going to take another 6 months, whatever it is. But let them know up front that what you've got. Don't be dishonest. That's how you lose customers forever. I mean, they'll never buy from you again if you do that. But anyway, he seemed pretty excited to have the wood, and his wife was kind of happy that she's going to have a warm house. And now he gets to play with some wood. They got to get it all stacked tonight. That was their goal. So anyway, that is it for today. Thanks for watching, folks. Please hit the buttons, like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. Hit them all. And tomorrow I'll be in the wood yard, and so you should come along, and it'll be fun. Between now and then, get out in the woods, get cutting. Good night, Irene.